You gotta meow right on the spot. This beat's really hot. You gotta meow, 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 meow. Let's talk about Dance, Dance, Dance.
Right, here we go. You're grass and I'm a power mower. Take. Hey.
When you talk about Dance, 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 what is there to talk about but that great riff that the whole song is built around and that Carl contributed for his first real writing credit? Really makes the song, there really is no song without it. And I just want to talk briefly about a cool thing they do with that riff. And then I'm going to go into track view and talk about the production parts of the guitars and the bass and the Danelectro 6-string bass, which hopefully you've just learned about in my other video. So the second time through the verse, they do this little teeny musicianly adjustment that they didn't have to do. It's still pretty much the same song, but they alter this one note, and it's just a little point of interest that I love to note. So the first time through it goes. But the second verse they do this. First time. Second time. So they add this kind of blue note to the riff. But again, it's just a tiny little detail, but it's really cool to note that they, took the time to do that. And I wonder whose idea it was. It doesn't show up in their first try that they recorded in Nashville, so it may have come from one of the studio guys. And then the key change comes in the middle of the riff, which really makes it cool. Like, this is how it goes. It comes right in the middle. They could have maybe. I'm trying to think of how. Now, I guess it kind of has to come in the middle of the riff just because of the nature of vocals, and Brian clearly had that in mind. It's another thing that they didn't do in the first try, but they added in the definitive version that brings the song to another level, literally takes it up a notch in terms of the intensity, the pitch, makes it that much more exciting. We're all excited to get out there and dance to that hot beat. So when the music is so built around that one riff, there's not a whole lot else to talk about. So I'm going to go to the track view now, and we can talk about some of the production aspects that contribute to making this actually a really unique recording for the Beach Boys during this time. So I will see you there. Farewell from non-track view. And greetings from track view. Let's talk about the production of Dance, Dance, Dance. Now, it starts off, of course, with the Danelectro Bass. And that really sets the tone for the whole rest of the record. Like I said before, the whole song is built around that riff, and pretty much everyone's playing it. Starts off with Ray on 6-string bass, but Carl's playing it with his 12-string, and Glenn is also joining in on an acoustic guitar. So here's what the live session sounds like with all three of them playing the riff. Now, Brian's bass tone on this is particularly great. I think I got it pretty close. He's playing with his thumb as he normally did, And it's this great round pumping tone. We add that with the Dano during the choruses, and you get that nice doubled bass sound, one with the attack, one with the fundamental bass presence. And then you add the treble on top. And you get that really incisive riff. In an overdub session, probably Glenn and Carl just, Carl didn't double it because he played a different part, but Glenn probably just doubled his acoustic guitar. And here's the two acoustic guitars together. You hear Glenn talking to the engineer during the session saying he wanted to be up during the riff and down when he's strumming, so that's what I've tried to do here. So you don't really hear it much. But when you add him in, and then you add Carl's overdub in, that means that, what do we got? 5 instruments are all playing the riff together. So it just really, again, adds to the power of that monumental riff. Now Alan here is playing, for the time, fairly rare excursion on 6-string electric guitar out of the bass chair because there's no piano on the track. And he plays a fairly simple little part here, but I love how it's kind of stabs. And Carl overdubbed a rhythm part. Well, it's the same overdub. He plays rhythm, kind of doubling what Al did. Now you may hear on that overdubbed guitar, there's really heavy compression. And there's a lot of compression on Carl's 12-string also. And in general, I just hear a lot more compression on this track than I'm used to hearing on the Beach Boys tracks. And I think, and it's just a theory, that the reason for that is because they were recording at RCA, which not only was just a different environment, but they also may have had more compressors. At Western, as far as I know, they just had like access to 1 or 2, maybe 3 compressors in the control room that, according to, I think, Bones Howe and maybe a couple of other people, they really never used on instruments. But at RCA makes a great compressor, so they probably had bushels of them and could afford to just patch them in across one instrument rather than using them for a whole bus. They may have not been as averse to using them on individual instruments rather than entire mixes or entire buses. So you hear this really compressed guitar sound for the first time in my experience, I think, on a Beach Boys record. And I think I got that pretty close to how it is on the original. So it just all adds up to a really tight, cutting, kind of modern sounding track. And I think that if the lyrics had maybe been a little less sort of teenage Beach Boys style lyrics, they'd been a little hipper or something, and this had come out a couple years later, could have been it could have been a whole different genre. But that's just speculation, and neither here nor there. So I think it's time to play the whole track now. I did attempt to solo. I didn't try to copy Carl exactly. I played the general outline of the solo. I think it's kind of silly to slavishly copy really kind of rhythmic, feel-oriented solos. There's really just not any point to it. So, those of you who were disappointed that I left the solo out of Do You Want to Dance will be happy that I included it in Dance, Dance, Dance. So, you'll hear that now. And next we get to experience Please Let Me Wonder. So I'll see you then. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.